Welcome back to another Pokemon Throwback Thursday, where every Thursday morning we take a deep dive into a new set we're going to complete order. So the set we're checking out today is Obsidian Flames, and then of course we're going to be highlighting a certain Pokemon, and we'll be checking out their best cards in Pokemon history. And for today's video, that is going to be Leafeon. And we are going to do a giveaway today. All you got to do is make sure you're subscribed, hit that notification bell, hit that like, and then you got to answer the question of the day. What Pokemon are we getting rid of? Gengar or Gyarados? This is the card we're giving away today. Beautiful Pikachu promo. And the winner from last Thursday's giveaway is at JB's Pokestop. Shoot me an email or hit me up on Instagram. I'll get those cards sent out to you. And we do have to give a quick thanks to our video sponsor, and that is Platinum Protectors. If you guys need cases for any type of collectible, Platinum Protectors got you covered. They have cases for action figures, comic books, diecast, Funko Pops, trading cards, and video games. And when it comes to trading cards, they have so many different options. And they literally sell out every month, and they're constantly restocking, getting new products. So when they come in, it goes quick. They got stuff for Lorcana, One Piece, Japanese Pokemon, everything. So definitely check them out. I'll have all the links in the description. Then, of course, you guys want to try out PSA for your first time, click the link. Use the code BEARD25. You get $25 off. Just got to use a new email for that every time. And same thing with tag. Click the link. Use the code BEARD102. You get 10% off your first submission. And please go download the FANATICS Collect app and go to Collect Originals and follow my Pokebeard channel, where you guys can watch my Market Monday and my Following Friday, Thursday, and Sunday, 7 p.m. Central, hours before I post on YouTube, completely free. And we do a giveaway every video. It's a ton of fun. I'm in the chat and everything, so check that out. But all right, we got Obsidian Flames. This set came out August 10th, 2023. Total set value is $521. So when this set came out, this Charizard did originally go crazy. But after the price came down a little bit, people really hated on the crown. And then it's a really small set. And then I remember a lot of people not liking the Pidgeot, which is still on a $20 card. I do think if they would have gave us a more realistic, epic Pidgeot like fighting, I really think the card would be a lot more. But again, what's good about these early sets is the illustration rares are so difficult to grade that they're worth a good amount of money in a PSA 10. But we got some pretty popular Pokemon here. We got the Charizard for the big one at 110. Then it does go down to the Ninetales at 40. And I still think this is literally like a top 3, top 5 best illustration rare. And then Cleffa at 38. We got the Gold Charizard at 36. Got Gloom at 23. The Full Art Charizard at 22, and Pidgeot at 19, Pidgey at 15, Scizor at 15, Lechonk at 13, Pidgeotto at 11, Houndour at 10, and then Larvitar at 6. Again, though, such a small set. But let's check out the Scizor here. We got Obsidian Flames. Now look at the pop. 1,430 in a 10, 4,378 in a 9. There's even 2,600 8s. There's almost double the amount of 8s as there are 10s. So, you know, these are the type of cards that I love to pick up, but it was $199 in March, got up to $390, just kind of keeps going up and down, and last sold is right around $365 in a PSA 10, and then, you know, TCG player has it at $14. Next, we have the Pidgey illustration rare, pop, 1,338 in a 10, 3,253 in a 9, was at $97 in a PSA 10, now sitting at $227. Next, we have the Pidgeotto, which is actually cheaper than the Pidgey. This was at $132 in a PSA 10, now sitting right around $239, but TCG player, it's only an $11 card compared to the Pidgey at $15. Next, we have the Pidgeot EX. Now, normally, you know, the special illustration rares are not, you know, very difficult to grade, but for Obsidian Flames in these earlier sets, they kind of are. Pidgeot, pop, 2,355 in a 10, 4,400 in a 9, was at $99 in a PSA 10, now sitting right around $155. That's not a terrible price to pick up, you know, a card that is actually somewhat difficult to grade. Next, we have the Charizard EX Full Art, the Terra Full Art. Pop on this, 6,000 in a 10, 8,700 in a 9. Was at $118, now sitting right around $190 in a 10. Next, we got the Gloom with a pop of 2,100 in a 10, 5,900 in a 9. This is at $185 and got to $312, now sitting right around $270. Next, we have the Gold Charizard. This has a pop of 9,000 in a 10, 17,000 in a 9, even has 6,400 in a 8. So that's what I'm saying. Like, every card from this set is actually pretty difficult to grade. But this card's at $200 in a 10, now sitting right around $320. Been kind of leveled out now for a while. Next, the Cleffa. This card is beautiful. Was at 3,000 in a 10, 7,700 in a 9, 2,600 in an 8. Was at $199. Got up to like $460. Now sitting right around $360. Now here is the Ninetales. Was at $209, got up to $429, now sitting right around $340, and I'm actually looking for a really clean copy of this card in a PSA 10. Because every time I see a 10, you know how PSA 10s are sometimes. You know, it's pretty off-centered or it's got some whitening. And every time I see the Ninetales, which I don't see it very often at card shows, it's never super nice. And the ones that I've seen online, the scans are not super nice. I just want to get it really, really clean. Because if you're going to buy a PSA 10, you might as well get the cleanest one possible. And yeah, there's a lot more of these graded than some of the other illustration rares just because it's so popular, but 4,700 in a 10, 11,500 in a 9, and 4,100 in a 8. But such a nice illustration rare. Just wish we would have got the VAULTX to go with it. That's the one thing that really bugs me. Next, we have the Charizard with a pop of 12,854 in a 10, 28,833 in a 9, 11,686 in an 8. Was at $491 in a 10. Kind of leveled out for literally the last few months, now sitting right around $750. All right, and we got the booster pack. This was $11.52 a couple months ago, now $13 and $12. Not really going crazy. And we have the Obsidian Flames ETB coming down in price. Was at $321, and now last sold $275, $270, and $265. And the only reason this ETB is worth that much is because of the Obsidian Flames ETB promo of that beautiful Charmander. Even the regular one is worth a good amount of money. It's not just a Pokemon Center one now. But yeah, this box has dropped a decent amount. And here's the Pokemon Center ETB, got up to $713. Now $689, $692, $695, so it hasn't dropped too much. But yeah, the Charmander Pokemon Center ETB promo is very expensive and very difficult to grade. And we have the Obsidian Flames booster box. This got up to $398, and now last sold $359, $342, and $365. I actually kind of forgot I'm going to have to start adding these ETB promos to this because for Sword and Shield and all the other sets, you know, you didn't really have to do that unless it was a, you know, specialty set like Hidden Fates or something. But yeah, I'll have to add the promos after this. But yeah, this one has the Charmander promo, which is just sick. All right, jump into Leafeon. Now, when I'm looking at all these cards and I've looked at all the evolutions, Leafeon, honestly, kind of getting the short end of the stick. Not as many cards as some of the other guys. But all right, we're going to check out some of these cheaper ones. I thought this was kind of funny. They've used this Leafeon art like 6 different times. We got it for Twilight Masquerade. We got it as the Cosmos Holo. We got it as the Pokeball, which means we got it as the non-Pokeball or Master Ball and a Master Ball. So, you know, it's like 5 or 6 times they've used that card. We got another Cosmos Holo right there. That one's pretty nice. Astral Radiance has a pretty nice art. XY Furious Fist, that one's kind of cool. Got the basic Leafeon V, Leafeon V-Star, and another Leafeon V. I'm telling you though, these Vs are pretty beautiful when you really look at them and just don't think of them as like super cheap common cards. And honestly, a lot of them are very difficult to grade. But it's almost like an illustration art, especially if you compare it to like an EX. These are Terra EXs. But still, even if you compare it to a Terra EX, where he's legit only in half the card, Leafeon's taking up this whole card, basically, and then we got actually a background and nice grass. So I think people are kind of sleeping on some of these, you know, basic ultra rare V cards. I think they're pretty sick. What else we got? We got a V-Star from Crown Zenith. We got a GX, which is a Sun and Moon promo. That was pretty nice. Got the Prismatic Evolutions Leafeon. This is the one that comes in the surprise box, which I think is a great pickup at $6.90. All right, let's go to the next page. We got another Leafeon GX at $10 from Ultra Prism. We got the Leafeon VMAX from Evolving Skies. We'll be checking out more Evolving Skies cards today. Majestic Dawn, that's pretty nice. We'll check out that card in a bit. Dark Explorers. Got some really good looking cards. Leafeon Platinum right here. Burger King promo with the stamp. Market price $29. But all right, let's get into it. We have the Leafeon EX SIR from Prismatic Evolutions. It's got up to $1,000 in a PSA 10, now sitting right around $875. Has a pop of $4,200 in a 10, $6,200 in a 9, and TCG Player has it at $335. That's another thing that's going good for Prismatic Evolutions is the actual SIRs are pretty difficult to grade, just like how the earlier sets were. Next, we have the Leafeon Master Ball. That's a pop of $600 in a 10, $975 in a 9, and Raw got up to 41, now sitting right around 36, and PSA 10 got up to a little over $200, $213, now sitting right around $170. Next, we have the Leafeon V-Star from Crown Zenith. This has a pop of $13,300 in a 10, $8,400 in a 9, $1,300 in an 8. got up to $223. Now, last sold $206. TCG player has that at 87. And we have the Leafeon V. So I loved the Leafeon V when it came out, but my favorite Leafeon for modern English is the Leafeon V Star. I think the card is just so clean. Even though I don't love V Stars, like the setup of the card, it's super nice. But here's a Leafeon V. This is a pop of 6,500 in a 10, 4,000 in a 9. Got up to $330 in a 10, now sitting right around $300. TCG player has it at 153. And we got the Leafeon V Max from Evolving. This is a pop of 11,268 in a 10, 3,200 in a 9. TCG player has it at 415 for raw. Got up to $660 and now sitting right around $600. But yeah, it's kind of crazy. The raw price is $415, but the PSA 10 price is only $600. So it's not that much more to buy a PSA 10 of this card. Same with some of the other evolutions from Evolving Skies for their VMAX. It's just kind of crazy. Next, we have the Leafeon VMAX Rainbow from Evolving Skies. Got up to $140 in a 10, now sitting right around $112. It's a pop of 2,200 in a 10, 548 in a 9. TCG player has it at 43. Next, we have the Leafeon V Full Art from Evolving. This is a pop of 557 in a 10 and 544 in a 9. TCG player has it at $20 raw. Got up to 145, now sitting right around 130 in a 10. Next, we have the Full Art Leafeon GX. This is from Ultra Prism. If you guys do not know about Ultra Prism, just think of it basically as the waifu trainer set. It has some of the most expensive trainers in all of Pokemon history in one set. It's kind of crazy. But the Leafeon Full Art, pop of 300 in a 10, 261 in a 9. Got down to 159 in a PSA 10. Now, sitting right around $312 and sitting kind of steady. And TCG player has it at $43. And I'm telling you, these Full Arts from the Sun and Moon era are really nice. Next, same exact art, but the Rainbow from Ultra Prism, with a pop of 561 in a 10, 403 in a 9. Got up to $605, now sitting right around $430 in a 10. TCG player has it at $90 raw. Next, again, same exact art. Now we got the Shiny from Hidden Fates. This got up to $251 in a 10, now sitting right around $235. TCG player has that at $75 raw. PSA 10 pop, 3,300 in a 10, 2,400 in a 9. Next, we have the Leafeon Prism. This is from Plasma Freeze. I love these Prism cards. You can collect them, and they're honestly pretty affordable. They're kind of getting a little expensive now, but it does not take too much to get all of them. This is a pop of 6 in a 10, 33 in a 9, and TCG player has it at 41. But we're going to jump to Collector because it's not updated on Pokédata. So raw, right around $43 for the reverse holo. You can get them non-holo. And PSA 10, right around $585, which not sure how recent that sale is, but I mean, with the low pop thing going on right now, this literally is a pop of 6 in a 10 for $500. Not too bad. Next, we have the Leafeon Black and White. They call these the wallpaper cards. You can get all the evolutions in these. They're super cool. This is a pop of 11 in a 10, 133 in a 9. Last sold says $670, but that was a little bit ago, and I have a feeling this card will sell for a lot more now, because we do have a recent 9, and that sold for $700, so a 10 would definitely sell for thousands of dollars. Next, we have the Leafeon Holo from Majestic Dawn. This is a pop of 8 in a 10, 81 in a 9. Last sold in a 10 on eBay is $1,425. Again, not super recent. TCG player is at $90, and we got a 9 at $324. Again, not super recent. Next, we have the Leafeon Staff pre-release holo. There's like 3 different versions of this card that you can get. You can get it with just the, Undaunted stamp. You can get it with no stamp, but this is the one with the staff. And not a ton of information on this card, but we got raw at $400 and last on a PSA 10 says $1,000, but I'm going to guess it would sell for way more than that. Like way more. Next, and last on the list for English, we have the Leafeon Level X from Majestic Dawn. People forget Leafeon is not that old of a Pokemon. So it's not like we got like Wizards of the Coast cards and stuff of Leafeon. Because I was talking to some kids the other day at a card show, and they literally thought like Vaporeon, Jolteon, Flareon, Leafeon, like they thought they all came out like in the first couple generations. It's like, no. They sprinkled them out. We just have not gotten any evolutions in a while. Which I was just praying we were going to get a new evolution for Generation 10, but from the leaks, it looks like we're not going to get one, but I'm not 100% sure. But here's the Level X from Majestic Dawn. This is a pop of 6 in a 10, 92 in a 9. Last sold in a 9 is $4,900. So we have a sale at $1,175 in a 10. So that was a long time ago. TCD player has it at $200. Let's see if we got a recent sale on a 10 on COLLECTR. It says $3,500. So that still is not even that super recent because that 9 is at $4,900. When it's a pop 6, these cards do not sell very often. And a lot of times they sell, not publicly. I know a lot of people who buy some very high-end cards and you just never know about it. I mean, there's a lot of comps out there that people don't know just because of these private sales. But all right, we're going to jump to the Japanese exclusive. This is a Unagaba Leafeon, has a pop of 22,000 in a 10, 2,200 in a 9. And this is a $90 rock card. Looks like it's still slowly climbing, sitting right around $200 right now. This card just goes up and down, up and down. Last sold in a 10 is $180. We got a 9 at 110. And last sold on eBay is $191. And last on the list, we have the Leafeon Chinese exclusive. Love this card. This was a $40 card. Now sitting right around $65. PSA 10 got up to $360. Now sitting right around $231. Such a sick card. They're not super difficult to grade, but there's just not a ton of them graded. Especially, there's just so many fakes out there to where, if you don't have a good hookup on the Chinese exclusives, if you're just buying them randomly, you might want to just stick with graded just to be a little bit safer because there are so many fakes of these cards out there. Even they can have the little Pokemon stamp down here and they could still technically be fake. So you got to be careful. But all right, that was this week's video. If you guys like this content, want to stay ahead of the market, please make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, hit that like and comment. If you guys want to support more, check out my Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube membership, all that. You guys know what to do. You guys are the absolute best. But all right, I want you guys to have a great day. And if you guys want to watch my last Pokemon What If Wednesday, which was a super good one, click the video above. And then if you guys want to watch any of my other vending videos, I have an entire playlist above also. All right, see you next time.